No update. No, just felt a little something in her groin, so we'll get it evaluated and see what happens from there.
Caitlin Clark didn't just hobble off the court. She broke down in tears. And if you believe was simply another game, you're dead wrong.
Walks down to the end of the court. You can tell that she's in pain. You can tell that there's something wrong. She goes to the, what's it called, like stanchion or whatever, the thing that holds up the basketball hoop on the other end. She hits her head on it. She is fighting back tears and she walks straight over to the bench. Now when she goes over to the bench, she starts crying, and I've honestly never seen Caitlin Clark cry on the court except when she lost the national championship game. She keeps it together no matter what is happening, but you could just tell that something happened on that play, and it was either the pain of it, it was either like, here we go again, it was fresh.
What happened against the Connecticut Sun was more than an injury. It was a catastrophic failure by her coach, her front office, and the league. You want to know who's actually to blame for Caitlin Clark's pain? Let's break it all down, because enough is enough. Let's not pretend it came out of nowhere. We spotted the warning indicators from day one. Caitlin Clark had a quad issue in preseason, and instead of giving her sufficient rest, what did they do? Shipped her back to Iowa for an exhibition game. Why? PR, ticket sales, excitement. It was about headlines, not health. Then she re-aggravated it in season. What happened? They sat her for a little, yeah, but as soon as things became rough, bang, she's back out there again and again. Did nobody stop to inquire if she was ready? Or did they just see monetary signs and push her back in uniform? And now, suddenly she's got a groin issue. Rangery following rangery. Is this the new normal for her career? Because of the way the Fever are treating her, it sure feels like they're fine with that. Let me ask you, if this was LeBron, Steph, or Luka, would they be forced to play through this? Or would their club genuinely defend its franchise player? The play looked innocuous. Clark made one of her hallmark dishes, a smooth backdoor dish. The crowd adored it. Classic Caitlin, but then she didn't rush back. She froze, grasped her groin, took one stride, two, then bent over. You could sense the energy shift immediately. The camera panned, and she was holding her hip tight. Her face said everything. She attempted to tough it out, since that's what she always did. But then she went off, and I mean walked off. Not jogged, not swapped out with high fives. Walked, limped, right to the stanchion, head buried. No drama, no flopping, just brutal pain. And I don't know about you, but I've never seen Caitlin Clark cry like that ever. She's been body checked, slammed to the floor, and elbowed in the face, and not once has she shown emotion like that. So what does that tell you? You know what's crazy? This league has thrown everything at her, literally. Kennedy Carter shoulder checked her. Marina Maberry tried to flatten her. She's taken hits every game. It's like she's getting jumped in a parking lot. And still no tears. She stands up, wipes off the contact, and resumes walking. But not tonight. Tonight was different. When Caitlin hit her face in the towel, that wasn't simply anguish. It was weariness. Emotional, physical, and mental. You could see it. She finally reached her breaking point. And it didn't come from a hit. It was from her own body giving up on her. That should worry everyone in that front office. Because when someone that tough eventually lets go, it implies they've been pushed too far. And for what? To beat the Sun in July? To sell out another away game? What's the cost? You don't run your superstar into the ground before the All-Star break and expect her to stay quiet forever. What do you think Clark was thinking as she was sitting there crying? Do you believe she's starting to question everything? And just when you think the night couldn't get much uglier, here come the refs. From the start, they let Connecticut get away with murder. Hand-checking, grabbing, and holding Clark coming off every screen. And the whistle was nowhere to be found. By the third quarter, she'd had enough. You could see her yelling after every no call. And then during a review, the camera zooms in, and clear as day, she turns to the ref and screams, "Grow up." Straight up. No filter, no fear, just raw frustration. Can you blame her? This isn't new. She's been the focus of physical defense since game one. The difference tonight was she couldn't hide the wrath anymore. And honestly, I'm glad, because someone had to say it. The refs haven't protected her. Her coach hadn't, so she eventually said it herself. But let me ask you, why is she the only one battling for her own safety? What gets forgotten in the chaos? Caitlin Clark still showed up. Before the injury, she had 14 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds, plus 21 in the box score. She coordinated the offense, ran transitions, and put her teammates up. When she was on the floor, the Fever dominated. When she sat, Connecticut closed the distance. Even after all the injuries, even after the terrible calls, even after the cold shooting, she kept going. And in the fourth quarter, shortly before the injury, she snapped. A mid-range pull-up, a backdoor cut, a deep three, free throws, boom, 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 the dagger stretch. She provided Indiana the cushion they needed. Then her body gave out. And that's what hurts the most. She's doing everything simply to keep this team afloat. And the minute she breaks, who's there for her? Where's the protection? Where's the accountability? All right, we had to talk about Stephanie White because these rotations, they make zero sense. Clark plays 4 minutes, sits for 5, plays 3, and sits for 6. How's she expected to get into a rhythm? How's her body expected to keep loose with a soft tissue injury? Have you ever played ball with tight hips or tired quadriceps, then sat down and tried to jump back in cold? It's a disaster. You cramp. You stiffen up. You risk injury. That's exactly what's occurring. And on top of that, White pulls her right after she scores a major shot. She benches her during scoring runs. She has Clark and Ari McDonald on the floor together, even when it's clearly not working. What's the game plan here? You'd think they'd treat Caitlin like a franchise player, but she's being cycled like a bench rookie. And now, look, she's paying the price. How long Clark simply declares, "I'm done." Let's be real. There's no strategy here. There's panic, mayhem, and despair. Camp day. Play Caitlin, All-Star Weekend. Push her through. The crowd's enormous. Put her in. Groin still sore. Oh well, sell those tickets. Every decision feels hasty, reactionary. Not one move looks like it's meant for her long-term health. And what's worse, she's being run all over the country. Events, planes, press. How's she meant to recuperate when she's never resting? She's got a quad strain. She's had a groin issue, but she's still suiting up every night like she's 100%. Does the front office even know how to manage a superstar? Or are they just betting on her not saying no? You already know what Stephanie White said after the game, right? She felt something in her groin. We'll get it evaluated. Sound familiar? Yeah, it should. They said the exact same thing a few weeks ago when Clark had a quad issue. And guess what happened? She missed 10 days. The time before that, same story. Day to day, they said. Then she was gone again. So when they hit us with the same narrative now, how are we meant to believe it's nothing serious? Let's be real here. Caitlin Clark has been coming back too early every single time. And every single time, she gets harmed worse at some point. That's not terrible luck. That's just lousy management. This is what happens when you handle injuries like a PR problem instead of a medical one. When your head coach provides robotic answers to avoid heat instead of facing up to what's truly going on, the fans deserve more. Caitlin deserves better. She's not just some player. She's the engine, the pull, the reason people are watching. And if she's not getting honesty, then neither are we. Why is it so hard for them to just tell the truth? Is it really about protecting her or just hiding their own mistakes? Because right now, it doesn't feel like they're being careful. It feels like they're being reckless. So what do you think? Is Stephanie White being honest with us? Or is just more smoke to cover up another stupid decision? Let's not forget technically Indiana won this game. Final score, 85-77. On paper it appears solid. Kelsey Mitchell dropped 23 points. Natasha Howard ruled the paint. Sophie Cunningham contributed solid minutes off the bench. You check the box score, and everything looks good, right? But here's the deal. None of that really matters today. Not one bit. Because the only thing people are going to remember from this game is Caitlin Clark walking off the floor in pain, tears flowing down her face. That image is going to linger with fans a lot longer than the final score. And honestly, it should. A win is fantastic. But when your top player, the face of your team, and honestly, the face of the whole WNBA is breaking down physically and emotionally in front of the world, how can you celebrate that? How do you come into the locker room smiling when your leader is in tears? Tonight should have been a celebration, a confidence booster coming into the break. Instead, it turned into a big wake-up call. What's occurring behind the scenes in Indiana? Who's calling the shots? And why are they letting this happen? Coaching failure, medical failure, leadership failure, it all came crashing down in one game. So, I'll pose the question no one wants to answer. Was that win really worth it? Because from where I'm sitting, it looked like the cost was way too expensive. It's actually this simple. Sit her down entirely. Not for a few minutes. Not on a bogus minute constraint. Just sit here. Shut her down for a bit. No 3-point contest. No all-star game. No. We'll see how she feels tomorrow. Enough of a charade. You can't keep throwing her out there like this. She's already fought through a quad injury. Now it's a groin issue. What's next? Are we waiting for an ACL tear or an Achilles rupture? Because if you keep pushing her body like this, it's only a matter of time until something very serious happens. Let the girl rest. Let her finally heal in the correct manner. And maybe, just maybe, she can return strong for the second half of the season. That's if she hasn't already checked out psychologically from this franchise. Because honestly, would you blame her if she did? She's being treated more like a product than a person. Like she's simply a body to roll out for ticket sales and jersey numbers. But she's more than that. She's your franchise. She's the one that filled arenas, smashed viewership records, and drew eyeballs back to our league. So here's the question. Do you honestly believe the Fever are doing what's best for Caitlin Clark? Because of the way they're acting, it appears more like they're protecting business, not their player. And if keeps up, don't be startled if she eventually declares, "I'm done." Don't be surprised if she walks away. Because right now, there's no proof they care enough to stop what they're doing.